Very good evening. Welcome to the Championship Playoffs live here on LFS. Four teams vying for one place in next season's Premier League, and over the next two nights there will be just two remaining. Tonight it is Millwall taking on Hull at the Den, and after a 0-0 draw from the first leg, it is all to play for in one of the toughest atmospheres there is in the Championship. Also tomorrow night, Southampton will take on Middlesbrough at St Mary's. It was a thrilling first legs, 2-0 from these two ties, but surely something's got to give tonight and tomorrow night for the two second legs. It is all building up to the 2026 Championship Playoff final to see who will be in the Premier League next season. One of these four teams will be, but who will get there? We'll find out on Saturday, the 23rd of May. To see which of these teams are capable of getting over the line. There's confirmation of the 2026 Championship Playoff final on LFS, which is just under 2 weeks away. But before all that, we looked at tonight's game, and what an interesting playoffs. Always interesting. 40th playoffs edition in its history. It started all the way back in 1987. And in terms of the key stats, well, Ipswich and Derby have appeared the most times in the playoffs. They've played it 8 times in the Championship playoffs. Crystal Palace, though, have been the most successful from this route to the Premier League. They've won it 4 times in 7 previous playoff appearances. And the very first ever playoff final was between Charlton and Leeds back in 1987. And that was Charlton won by 2-1 to be promoted to the top division. The highest scoring playoff final was in 1998, also involving Charlton and Sunderland, when they drew 4-4 before a 7-6 penalty shootout, a true playoff classic. But when it comes to these two teams we watched tonight, well, it certainly hasn't been great for the home side. They've won just 1 of the last 9 home league games against Hull City. But Hull, on the other hand, are unbeaten on their last 4 trips to the Den, and they won their last 2 in a row. However, Millwall have won 4 of their last 6 home league games, won 4 and drawn none, and lost the other 2. But Hull are winless in their last 5 away league games, losing 3 and drawing 2. But when it comes to they've already met at the Den this season, and when it comes to that fixture, Hull won 3-1 in the meeting between the sides earlier in the season, all the way back in September at the Den. But both sides won away from home against each other this season. It was a 0-0 draw on Friday night. But what have they got to give us on the Monday night, under the lights at the Den? A raucous atmosphere surely to behold, as Millwall, who've never won through the playoffs, take on a Hull City side who bask in the glory of previous successes and want to be back in the top flight again. It is a huge night, and you have to say, the Lions and the Tigers, it is a true big cat clash at the Den, and there is no doubting the fact that this, whoever goes through, will certainly have to fight for it. There's no doubt about that. A Millwall team who maybe not many expected either of these two teams to be in this position this season, but they've been flirting around it over the last few years. But now is their chance. Can they get to Wembley in just over a week and a half's time? That will all come down to the next 90 minutes on this pitch. Let's have a look at the two teams, starting with the home side in Millwall. Nathan Patterson starts in goal, a back 4 of Leonard, Kramer, Cooper and Sturge. A midfield of Denori and Mazusako. Nedgley is in the 10, Ballo and Aziz are the wingers, and Josh Coburn starts up front for Alex Neil's side. On the bench for Millwall, Crocombe, McNamara, Mitchell, Watson, Doughty, Kundal, Bannon, Ivanovic and Langstaff. Well, for Sergei Yakirovic's Hull, they've changed system from Friday night. Said he wanted a bit more balance and stability. Well, Pander starts in goal, a back 3/back 5 of Coyle, Egan, Ajayi, Hughes and Giles. A midfield of Crooks and Slater with Kyle Joseph on the right, Liam Miller off the left, and Ollie McBurney through the middle. On the bench for Hull, Phillips, Famewu, McNair, Lundstrom, Balumi, Gelhardt, Dowell, Hirakawa and Lewis Kumas. So a place at Wembley awaits. Will it be the Lions or will it be the Tigers? Who will fight to the death for that spot at one of the most wanted games, one of the most well fought for games in English football, the playoff final at Wembley. Kick-off at the Den for the second leg of this semi-final is on the way next. A very good evening. Thank you very much for joining us for this one on the Monday night as we conclude the Championship Playoff semi-finals over the next 2 nights to see which 2 teams will take their places at Wembley under that famous arch in just over a week and a half's time for a place in the Premier League that awaits. Will it be Millwall, will it be Hull, will it be Southampton, or will it be Middlesbrough? Only one of those 4 sides can make it and join Coventry and Ipswich, who are already Premier League sides from this season. Well, Millwall have recent history in the playoffs, but not successful history, you got to say. Have never reached promotion from the Championship Playoffs in 3 previous attempts. But can it be a 4th time that gets them to the promised land? Or will Hull City shock everyone this season and be the team that does it on certainly, well, they've had success before, but can they make it successful again? Already this evening, shall I say, there's a Premier League game taking place at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs taking on Leeds in the Premier League. We'll keep a very close eye on that. If Spurs win tonight, they are all but safe in the Premier League. They would need just 1 more point to secure their Premier League status for next season. A win tonight will be huge. Leeds already safe, so they know their future is awaiting them. But it is all to this one. Hull and Millwall at the Den as we get underway. 90 minutes at least separates these 2 from a possible place at Wembley. And what all this 46, 47 games have been building towards. You could possibly play 49 games in the Championship in one season. For one team it will end in heartache, but for the other it will end in pure joy. And one of these 2 teams wants to be there, but who will get there? That is the big question. Well, there's a little issue for Nathan Patterson, the fact that the sun is directly in his eyes. So whoever did the coin toss didn't take that into consideration. Liam Miller with a long throw that actually doesn't go very far. That was probably the worst long throw I've ever seen. And ultimately it's actually going to be given as a foul throw, I think. I have to see it again. Yeah, he actually never threw it forwards, so he threw it directly into the air. Surely that's a foul throw. And a correct decision there. Well, an early bit of threat from Liam Miller that does not cause Millwall any trouble whatsoever. And we'll keep you right up to date with that Spurs Leeds game in the Premier League as and when anything happens in that game. But of course, it's pretty easy for us tonight. There's no need for aggregate scores because the aggregate score is the actual score, because it was 0-0 from the first leg. Both sides had chances, both sides hit the woodwork at the MKM Stadium on Friday night, but in the end, neither side was to find a goal. And it was to be as you were heading into this second leg. It's all to fight for in the next 90 minutes. Nice hold up here by McBurney. Spun wide here to Giles. Down the left-hand side, he's got the cover there of Femi Aziz, and that's going to be a corner as Aziz puts it wide with the last touch there. And that's going to be a corner to Hull City. Early opportunity for Hull to get pressure into the box. Put Millwall under a bit of danger early doors. Cross from the left-hand side, swung on by the right foot. And the header well over the crossbar by John Egan. Yeah, pretty ultimate, good delivery to the front post, but a pretty poor header ultimately in the end. Ballooned off the head of John Egan and over the crossbar. Well, certainly there was a lack of finishing and quality finishing in the first leg between the two teams, albeit they both gave it a good go, but you kind of felt that it was one of those games where probably a draw was a fair result, albeit Millwall had double the amount of shots, almost triple the amount of shots that Hull had, but there was only 3 shots on target between the two sides, so it certainly wasn't the most glorious attacking game. Sturge runs into the trouble of Joseph, and now Liam Miller coming across, and he was taken out there by Kramer. That's going to be a throw-in to Hull down the right-hand side. Well, that was a crunching tackle by Tristan Kramer. Miller will take the throw-in, and he will want to take it correctly this time. Miller does get the distance on it that he wanted the first time around. A flick on at the front post. Cleared away by Nedgley. And Aziz sees it out for a throw-in on the far side. But Millwall under the cosh a little bit here in the first 4 minutes. Haven't really been able to get up the field. It's been all Hull pressure early doors in the Millwall box. And Liam Miller going to go for another long throw. Goes short this time, actually. Works it back to Liam Miller. Swung in by Giles with the left foot. Headed away cleanly by Cooper. But again, Hull recycle. Egan, wide. Swung in with the right foot. Cleared away there by Sturge. Held up down the left-hand side. For Millwall, as there's no way there for them to break forward with Tierno Ballo. And that's going to be a throw-in down the left channel. Actually, I think the referee's given a free kick for a pull on Tierno Ballo. He has. A bit of respite early doors for Millwall after that 5-minute spell right from the off where Hull have been in the ascendancy. A free kick here for Millwall to get the ball up the field for the very first time for them. It is Zach Sturge to take. Swung it over the top. Header cleared away by Hughes, and a miscue there in the middle. Opportunity for Hull to break, but no way through there for Kyle Joseph. As the chase is on here for Messi Saka, what a touch. Right on the byline to stop it going behind for a corner. That's the sort of fight that's needed in this type of game tonight. As Kramer has it here. A bit of Millwall possession. Denore back to Nathan Patterson. Not Nathan Patterson, Anthony Patterson. Getting my Pattersons mixed up. Nathan Patterson plays for Everton. Anthony Patterson launches that one up the field. Header won by Coyle. The bouncing ball drops here for Kyle Joseph. He's got Ollie McBurney in cover. Well closed out by Sturge and Ballo. And helped up by Mesut Sako, who recycles it back to Cooper. Used his body there, Josh Coburn, but no way through. Mesut Sako recycles. Ballo plays it out to Sturge on the overlap. Works it back in field, but a poor ball by Zach Sturge. As Coburn battles to fight for it back and does win it back. Calls for a bit of calm there, the attacking midfielder for Millwall, Camille Nedgley. Certainly they do need to settle a little bit here, Millwall. They've been a little bit frantic from the off. That's a switch ball to Sturge, who won the header, but well cut out by Semi Ajayi in the Hull defence. There's going to be a free kick here as Cooper committed a foul. It is end to end, it's open. That's the way we wanted, a high scoring game. An open game, a game that delivers big opportunities. And some really quality moments, that's what we can hope for this evening. The fates, the hopes and dreams of two huge fan bases on the line tonight. And the dream of Premier League football is what awaits. Kyle Joseph plays it back to Semi Ajayi, to Slater. Inside it goes here to Crooks. He gives it back to Coyle, and all the way back here to Panzer. He's calm as you like there to give it to Crooks with ease. Nice Slater, drives inside, finds McBurney, little 1-2. Slater's away here. Plays it down the left. Giles, good football from Hull. Giles with the early cross. McBurney was in there, but Crama was there first. And it's cleared behind for the corner. Well, you're certainly seeing a very fluid-looking Hull City team. These early crosses causing Millwall a whole host of danger, whole host of problems. Ryan Giles' delivery is so perfect towards Ollie McBurney. Well cut out by Crama initially and then cleared behind by Leonard. Corner it is then to Hull. Swung in with the right foot into the mix back post and header right into the hands of Patterson. Yeah, really nicely done again. Just lofted it right to the back post, and it was Hughes that was there who gets his head to it, heads it down into the ground, and it just bounces back up into the Millwall goalkeeper's hands. But just as we come back from the replay, there's been a yellow card given out to John Egan, I believe. Let's see what happened here. It's Camille Nesley who's been absolutely cleaned out by John Egan. No reason for that whatsoever. That's a very cynical challenge. John Egan in the book early doors. And Nedsley wins Millwall a free kick. The referees had a busy start to the game. Our referee this evening, Sam Barrett, Premier League experienced referee. Gone short with a free kick there, Millwall, and Femi Aziz is offside. Well, that was anticlimactic. What on earth are you doing here? Yeah, he's offside. I mean, he's half yard offside. I mean, I don't actually understand how on earth you can that can happen. But it was the correct decision. He was offside. There's no doubt about that. And a quick check up from the game between Spurs and Leeds. And Leeds almost pegged back there. Richarlison with a chance, well stopped by Joe Rodon and cover. And it remains Spurs 0, Leeds United 0 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Crama. Joseph was there to try and win it. Leonard tries to clear it up the field, but no joy for Millwall to escape the danger, as they will get the free kick here. Ryan Leonard brought down by Kyle Joseph, and that's going to be a free kick. Well, Hull have won on each of their last two trips to Millwall, both coming in the Championship. In January 2025 and December of this season, 1-0 and 1 wins. It's as many wins as they had in their previous 27 visits to the Den, where they'd previously lost 15 and drawn 10 of those games. So certainly a much happier recent form than they had before on trips to the Den. Not a place many teams have enjoyed coming this season. Only 7 teams have come here and won all season. 7 home defeats for Millwall, 13 home wins. Going for the long throw in here into the box. Nedgley was the target, but that's hooked clear. All the way back to Jake Cooper here. Leonard inside to Crama, who's under a bit of pressure, but gets rid quickly, and he couldn't keep the ball in for Zach Sturge to take the pass down the left-hand side. They're very unnerved at the minute, Millwall. Just cannot get themselves composed on the ball. They've really struggled to make any movements with the possession so far. At the moment, though, it's Hull who seem to be the team that are in control of this game at the moment. That's nice, though. Denore trying to find the ball down the left, seen away by Semi Ajayi, who took no risks. That's going to be a throw to Millwall. Sturge will take. All the way back to Cooper. Kramer. Down the right to Leonard. Back to Tristan Kramer. Right, Mesusako. Cooper, and all the way back to Patterson here from Millwall. I think this is not a bad idea, just to get a bit of possession as Patterson goes long. Looking for the runner as he felt he was fouled there, Femi Aziz, but the referee saw no problem. And the bouncing ball goes out for a Hull throw, but Aziz certainly claiming for a foul. The referee didn't see much in that. Femi Aziz certainly hit form at the right point of the season. Scored 3 goals in his last 3 championship regular season games. 1 against Stoke and then 2 here in the final day against Oxford United in a 2-0 victory. It secured 3rd place for Millwall in the division. And their spot in the playoffs. Albeit on the final day it could have been more for Millwall if Ipswich had lost, but it was asking a lot. Coyle swung in there beautifully in the header. Helped along its way by Cooper over the top. See it here, it's really nicely worked out to Louis Coyle on the right hand side. Swung it in beautifully. And Cooper just make sure that that one does not reach the head of the Hull City player in the middle, and Ollie McBurney, and that goes behind for a corner. They've really had to fend off a lot of Hull pressure early doors here, Millwall, in the first 15 minutes. For the moment, he'll be thankful. It remains goalless. How long will that last under this pressure? That's the big question. Who will break the deadlock first? And at what time could be even more crucial. Corner for Hull, right hand side, swung in, header flicked across. That one went sailing wide. Again, another dangerous delivery. And a little glancing header. It's a good ball in by Slater. And it's a glancing header across goal. And I think it's Hughes again who had the clean header a little earlier. Again, he breaks free, Hughes. Kramer doesn't have anybody to mark. And Hughes just free header in the box. Glances it across. And glances it wide of goal. But another really good opportunity. From on the end of a really good delivery. All looking dangerous from set pieces so far. Really haven't started at the minute, Millwall. On the back foot massively as Denore picks the ball up here at a loose position. Lots of space to try and angle one through the lines. It's dropped well here for Nedgley. On the right hand side, couldn't squeeze it through that time. Still has it, Camille Nedgley, but runs into trouble as Hull recycle possession. Yeah, tempo's just been raised. Louis Coyle charges forward, then the pass comes at Zach Sturge, who breaks it apart. No passes in front of him, as he says. Denore back to Mesusako. Again, just a little bit ponderous at times, Millwall. Just need to be a little bit sharper. Allowing Hull to drop into their shape. They'll be solid defensively with and without the ball, but it's about breaking them down. Denore finds Aziz, who breaks away from his man. Down the right it goes to Leonard. Back to Femi Aziz. Swings in the early cross. The header is off target. Ballo drops for Nedgley, who couldn't get the shot clean. Better though for Millwall as Nedgley picks it up on the left hand side here. Spins away from the pressure. Plays it back to Cooper. Feeds it back inside to Mesusako. Now across to Kramer. Leonard. Down the line to Aziz. Got 2 in front of him. Femi Aziz trying to measure the right move. Whips the ball in. That's dangerous to the back post. Headed across by Nedgley. Cleared off the goalkeeper's hands and off the line it goes. Still not away. As Sturge couldn't get contact. But Millwall all of a sudden are all over Hull here. Sturge swings one in. A bit of a deflection. Headed away by Egan. Ballo. Nedgley again. Drifting through players. Finds Sturge. Sturge with a deep delivery. A little bit looped as Giles clears, and a bouncing ball won by Mezu Sako. Second ball picked up by Cooper. Cooper finds Denore. Swung it wide to Femi Aziz. Aziz onto his left, back onto his right, sets a defender down. Aziz! And a flash save by Pandur. Not away yet though, as it's hooked clear by Louis Coyle. Well, what a turnaround of events. The last 2 minutes, Millwall have come alive. And Hull are the ones that are hanging on now. Kramer. Leonard back to Tristan Kramer. It's got the energy inside the den. Up and bouncing. As if it needed any real motivation. As Purple Assassin says, do you think there's any reason behind the first legs both finishing 0-0? Our team's cagey and hoping to snatch a winner in the second leg. Well, but maybe that's what it is. Usually you do see the first legs being a little bit more tight, a little bit more, let's just survive for as long as we can. You just kind of see the second legs, it's more open, much more expansive, much more high risk in the way that they want to play. And I mean, you have to take risks. Otherwise, you're not going to get the rewards you want. We've already seen these two have a real good go at it. It's Millwall. Certainly been the brighter of the last few minutes. Denore into Nedgley in between the lines. A lot better play from Millwall. Kramer. Pitched it out to the right hand side. Here's Femi Aziz charging inside again. Clips it across. There's a bit of holding there on Ballo, but play on. As Hull clear, and they do just about win the throw-in out of Tierno Ballo with the deflection, but again, Femi Aziz has got himself into the game all of a sudden. Swinging balls in left, right and centre, and they're always dangerous from his sort of range. We'll see that again. Nedsley's ball across. Patterson was battling with Coburn to get on the end of it. It drops down for Tierno Ballo. A clearance off the line by Kyle Joseph, who's in the way. And then the second one, Femi Aziz comes right back at it and smashes one at Pandur, who makes another good save. Well, if there's ever a point to make in the fact that if the first game was cagey, this has certainly not been. We had only 3 shots in the whole of the first leg. We've already had 3 shots in 20 minutes in this one. 3 shots on target, shall I say, in this one. So certainly much more energy, a lot quicker from these two teams. Mezu Sako. As he was brought down as he just released the ball to Ryan Leonard, and that's going to be a foul. It's Crooks that's committed the challenge. So we see it again. Mezu Sako just got rid of the ball, played it down the line to Ryan Leonard, and Matt Crooks just said, you're not getting away with that one, and gave away the foul. Much better play though for Millwall. They've been able to find those passes through the centre, linking up the midfield to Noré, Mezu Sako and Nedgley. Oh, that's good work from Coburn, finding Nedgley on the run. Just showed a bit too much. He's still got the ball, Nedgley. Finds Aziz, charging to the byline, cuts it across, blocked. And behind for the corner. That was Hughes that time that got the block. And Femi Aziz has come alive as well as his team. And Millwall have their first corner of the game. It's just the directness from Millwall. When they get the ball, they're charging forward with real intention. And they're really causing Hull problems with that directness with the ball. Corner on the right hand side here. Lots of bodies in the mix, including the 2 centre backs for Millwall. 2 aerial threats, left footed delivery, swung in, punched away by Pandur. Follow up is hooked wide, and well wide, by Nedgley that time. Again, good delivery initially, swung narrow, and good save by Pandur. Ultimately The shot from Nedsley at the edge of the box was well off targets. Well, Millwall have won 4 of their previous 6 home games, as I told you. They've kept a clean sheet in all 4 victories, while they've recorded more shutouts than any other side in the home championship games in the regular season. 11 home clean sheets for Millwall. So if there's ever something to build on at the Den, it's how strong Millwall have been defensively. It's how crazy how the momentum of this game has swung so massively in Millwall's favour in the last 5-10 minutes. Well, Millwall have only conceded 25 goals at home this season. Only Coventry, Ipswich, Southampton, Birmingham and Middlesbrough have conceded less on their home grounds. As I said, only 3 draws for Millwall in the whole of the regular season at home. Heavy touch there by Hughes, round the corners a little short. That's cut out well by Aziz. Leonard. Millwall with their tails up. The Lions are starting to roar. 24.5 minutes into this one. They're the team pushing for the opener. Bouncing ball in the middle. Denore got it all wrong. And Mezu Sako, but nicely picked up by Nedsley, who's picking up those pockets, and he plays it down the left to Sturge on the overlap. Sturge tiptoeing into the area, trying to work an angle. Coyle's block, sees it behind for the corner. Yeah, it's really good movement again by Millwall. Again, the Mezu Sako and Denore just don't have the measure of the ball in the middle, but they do enough to keep it alive to allow Camille Nedsley to break inside, find the little pocket and steal the ball and run. That's what's causing so much danger at the minute. Another Millwall corner. This time from the left-hand side. It's Femi Aziz to take. Swung in again from the near post, flick to the back post, and that one's going to bounce and allow McBurney to clear it away. Only McBurney looking to drive one forward, looking for the switch ball, but that's well cut out by Zach Sturge. Again, good move by Millwall. Denore down the right-hand side, space across. Coburn was in the middle. He tried the cut back there, Denore, and didn't quite work out, but Millwall keep going. Mezu Sako. Denore lifts it across this time. Too high for Josh Coburn in the middle. Again, a number of occasions where Millwall have had such threat, haven't been able to cap it off. Really poor by Semi Ajayi, giving the ball away. Well won back by Mezu Sako, and Denore played it down the right hand side, crossed it in but put far too much on it to get anywhere near Josh Coburn, and it remains goalless. Speaking of goalless, is that scoreline at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in the Premier League. Spurs 0, Leeds 0 at the moment. Leeds with more shots, the only shot on target coming for the visitors in that one. Remember, Leeds were confirmed to be safe after West Ham's defeat to Arsenal yesterday. So Leeds will be in the Premier League next season, as will Crystal Palace, as will Nottingham Forest. So it will be either Spurs or West Ham to be relegated, and this game is huge tonight. Spurs a point ahead of West Ham coming into tonight's game. Any points is a massive, massive chance for Spurs to stay in the division, and a real massive slice of luck. They've got to do the job tonight. Certainly been an enjoyable 27.5 minutes, albeit no goals, but lots and lots of attack and threat from both teams. Really enjoyable game so far. A really good battle between these two sides. Alex Neely, Millwall boss, has really done wonders with this team over the last few seasons. Certainly since he was appointed. 39 wins in 77 matches, just 22 defeats. Of course, Alex Neil, it's actually the longest he's been in a managerial job since he's spent over almost 4 years at Preston between 2017 and 2021. Previous jobs at Stoke and Sunderland didn't last as long as this Millwall one, but they've not gone as successful as this one has. Oh, lovely ball by Nedsley, just behind Tierno Ballo as Mezu Sako battles. Ballo battling down the left hand side to win the ball, and he's going to win the throw-in out of Louis Coyle. Coyle's having some real trouble down that side at the minute defensively. Lots of Millwall pressure down that left. And Zach Sturridge to take this Millwall throw. Long throw into the box by Sturridge. Cleared away at the front post. Sturridge will pick it back up again though. Takes it down to Nedsley. He has to retreat it back to Ryan Leonard. Last man for Millwall. He launches it forward. Cooper trying to use his physicality. A miscue there. Allows Denore onto the ball. Has to feed it wide. Sturridge clips one in. Deflected. Behind for the corner. McBurney back doing a bit of defending for Hull to see that one behind for the Millwall set piece. Yeah, it's Cooper. He just kept himself up there, caused a bit of a problem, and the miscue just allowed Millwall to retrieve the ball in and around the area. And Sturridge's cross cleared behind, or deflected behind, shall I say, by Ollie McBurney for the corner. Femi Aziz again over to take. Clipped, fizz to the back post, too close to Pander to cause the Hull City goalkeeper any trouble there. And Ivor Pander had no issue with that one. Nice idea though from Femi Aziz, but well matched by the Hull City goalkeeper, as Sturridge is going to be penalised here for a foul. The referee saw an issue. There's a Millwall player down here off the ball, or a Hull player, sorry. It's Kyle Joseph who's down off the ball, holding his head, so the referee has stopped the game anyway to see what happened there. We'll actually have to see it. Oh yeah, Kyle Joseph was trying to make a run across the back of the Millwall defence, and maybe was just grappled at by Jake Cooper, but there's nothing in that. Referee's just going to have a word with the Millwall captain, but nothing more than just a talking to for the home side skipper. And Jake Cooper, and as well as Kyle Joseph, spoken to by the referee Sam Barrett. 31 and a half minutes going here at the Den. It still remains goalless, 0-0 in aggregate, remember, as well, in this playoff semi-final second leg between Millwall and Hull. Free kick here for Hull. And, it's going to be Louis Coyle who's over this free kick. Coyle, deep delivery into the box, headed away around the back by a Millwall player, as Aziz's clearance was certainly not the most convincing. Straight out for a Hull throw on the far left side. Throw in then for the visitors. We'll go for another long one here, it looks like. Is launched into the box. Didn't get past Nedsley, but he half clears it. Crooks swung in again. A flick on header over the crossbar by John Egan. Yeah, it's a difficult one for John Egan to really direct towards goal. Sort of delivery, this position that he took up, it's just a difficult one to try and find the net from, but certainly worth an opportunity. Worth a go. Excuse me. Crooks. Brought down by Kramer. Cycled by Denore back to Cooper, who goes long. Hughes with a clean header. Nedsley picking up the pocket again. Plays it to Denore. Nice play. Denore down the right. Aziz just about keeps it in. Held on to by Giles. Aziz with a little back heel. Leonard's cross was blocked by Ryan Giles, and that's going to be a throw into Millwall. They certainly found their combinations looking much smoother, much more fluid now, Millwall. Home crowd certainly enjoying their experience so far. After what was a difficult first 15 minutes for this team, they've seemingly settled down. Throw in taken short. Mezu Sako told to shoot by the crowd. Was eyeing it up. He is going to shoot. And that one didn't have the sheer fierce power on it that caused Ivor Pander any sort of threats. Sturge does well with his defensive header. Out for the throw. Both sides have thrown themselves at the opposition so far. Neither side have been able to find the back of the net to this point. Well, Hull have won just one of the last of their final 7 away league games to finish the championship season, losing 4 of those games. They suffered as many away defeats in that run as they did in their first 16 away league matches of this season, in which they'd won 9 and drawn 3 of those games. As cross-ins allows Patterson to make the save off Ollie McBurney. Well, a fabulous goalkeeping save. It's a whip ball in again by Ryan Giles. It's that the quality of delivery is so hard to defend, and Ollie McBurney just nips there in front of his defender. Yeah, it's Tristan Kramer, and what a save by Anthony Patterson. Stop Ollie McBurney. Corner to Hull. Millwall, bit of defending to do here. Scrambled clear. It's not fully away from danger. Liam Miller, although they've given a foul there, the referee. And Millwall getting the free kick. See this again. Ollie McBurney went down. Leonard kind of nudged into McBurney, and then there's possibly a foul on Millwall, but McBurney making the claim that he was fouled before anything else in Millwall's favour. I do apologise, I'm yawning quite a lot. All I can do is apologise. Thank you very much for joining us. By the way, don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on push notifications. All the details right there on your screen, and how to do it. It's free, so why not? Per clearance there by Giles. Leonard. Aziz, little lob ball. Leonard. Cross, calls a handball. Those claims not called on by the referee, and Hughes claiming his innocence. We'll see it again. Beautiful lob ball in. It's Denore onto his right foot. He does use his arm to kind of bat the ball away, but I mean, he can't cut his arm off. There's nothing he can do there. It's not a handball, but it is a corner. Yeah, it's incredibly harsh. If anybody thought that was a handball, never in a million years. Corner swung in. It's deep. It's too close again to Pander, who gets his hands to it. Miller on the run, on his own, up there, beautifully done by the Millwall defence, and Liam Miller, well, outdone there. Yeah, really good opportunity for Ivor Pander. He saw Liam Miller all on his own up there and said, let's have a go, and Really nicely done by, I think it's Zach Sturridge, that's the last one back for Millwall, that has to make that piece of defending, and ultimately he is fouled by Miller, and that's a free kick to Millwall. But there's a danger that was well matched defensively. Slater charging down the left channel, and he's brought down by Denore. He claims his innocence, says there was no foul, but the referee definitely saw something illegal. And Casper Denore, the one that's been penalised. Well, a first half that's flew by so far, just 6 minutes left of the first 45 here at the Den. It remains goalless, but it's been a really well fought game. Both sides giving it a good go so far. Millwall with more of the possession, more of the shots, more shots on target. It's been more Millwall pressure than Hull over the course of the first half, but both sides still very much in the mix. This game could go either way. Sturridge, right muscled here. Fabulous tackle though by Tierno Ballo, wins it back, and Sturridge has it now in space in the inside channel. Plays it out wide to Nedgley, hugging the touchline, drifts in field. Left the ball there for a second, Camille Nedgley, but he does retrieve it quickly. Finds Mezu Sacco, cancelled the shoot by the crowd. Doesn't take that option. Finds Ryan Leonard instead. Aziz, Mezu Sacco, down the left channel. Nedgley swings one in, it's deep, but it's too deep. In the end, it skipped behind for a goal kick. Well, there's a Hull player down in the other end of the field. Sergei Yakirovich has been going mental, wanting his player to receive some treatment. Kyle Joseph again, who's gone down. I don't know where that's come from. I think it's the crunching challenge by Tierno Ballo, but it's a fair challenge. It's a really good challenge. Yeah, it's a fabulous tackle. That's absolutely incredible. Perfectly timed. It's a painful one for Guy Joseph, but it's a fabulous tackle. It's the way he falls that I think kind of hurts him more than the tackle itself. And that's a very well timed challenge. And the referee, very good call there. Quick update from North London. Spurs against Leeds. It remains goalless in that one. And Spurs have had the pressure of the last couple of minutes, last 10-15 minutes. But it is still goalless at the moment in that one. As it is here at the Den. Could be an issue here. Kyle Joseph is still down receiving treatment, so there could be a problem in the fact that Hull might be forced into an early change here in this one. Of course, Kyle Joseph, who's scored twice on Hull's last trip to the Den. And a 3-1 Millwall, or a 3-1 win over Millwall. For Hull, he scored the first 2 goals of the game inside 13 minutes. Only McBurney put the cap on it late on, making it 3-1. Femi Aziz was sent off in that game as well. Here were 2 of his 8 championship goals this season for Kyle Joseph. His last of which came in a 3-1 win at home against Sheffield Wednesday. He scored and assisted in that game back in late March. And it looks like he might be on course for an early departure from this game. And Sergei Yakirovich calling one of his players back. Looks like they are going to be forced into this early substitution, Hull. And trying to see who that is actually that is getting them himself ready. I think it might be Mohamed Baloumi. Kyle Joseph is not in a good way. He's visibly upset, as you can expect. It's a painful one to take. Worked so hard all season to get to this point, and it could be done and dusted right here and now. And he's being helped off the field, which is never a good sign. And he's not able to walk without help. And season where he has played a vast majority of the games. Hull have been involved in 45 games he's played in the Championship this season. Around about half of those he started, but certainly 45 league appearances this season. His 46th here tonight, his 28th start of the season. But it is going to be called to an early end after this crunching challenge by Tierno Ballo. A fair challenge, but it's just the way he gets caught underneath Tierno Ballo that ultimately hurts the Hull player instead, and that's what causes the pain and the issue. As they're still awaiting on their substitute getting themselves ready. I think it is Mohamed Baloumi that is hurrying himself to try and get onto the field. And at the moment, the referee can restart play with Hull down to 10. And Sergei Yakirovich is visibly unhappy at the fact that his player has taken a very long time to get himself ready to come on here, because at the moment Hull are down to 10. 4 added minutes at the end of the first half. First half that's flown by. Mezu Sako. Well, there Baloumi is ready to go, but they need to wait for the ball to go out of play first. It's Femi Aziz. Leonard, little back heel, finds Femi Aziz, body's in the mix, swung ball in! Ballo! Big save by Pander. Massive save. Another one of those incredibly dangerous deliveries by Femi Aziz. And the Hull goalkeeper forced into a big stop. As Aziz has seen it a play there by Hughes. That's going to be a Millwall throw, which will allow Hull to make this substitution and bring on Mohamed Baloumi. See it here, beautiful link up down the right, swung in so dangerously by Aziz. Tierno Ballo was in the mix just ahead of him, and Pander throws himself at it, just gets it as far away as he can from the goal. And Mohamed Baloumi is on to replace Kyle Joseph, so Hull back to 11. Long throw by Millwall, headed away from goal, back where it came, and that's swung behind though for another corner. More pressure for Hull to try and fend off at the late stage of this first half. Well, Mohamed Baloumi, certainly not a player at the moment that is probably the most popular from Sergei Yakiravich's point of view. That corner is well dealt with as Baloumi hooks it up the field, but trying to find the run of Liam Miller, but that's well cut out by Mezu Sako. Guided back by Kramer to his goalkeeper. That's 2 minutes of the first half then. There's a VAR check ongoing at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium between Spurs and Leeds. It's a possible Leeds penalty. It could be in course here, but they're checking for offside, so we'll await and see what comes of that. But at the moment, there could be a penalty to Leeds United at Spurs. But here comes Hull down the left-hand side. It's Liam Miller. 1v1 with Leonard. Miller breaking into the box. Leonard, though, with a recovery. Fabulous to steal it away. A burst of pace here down the right from Aziz. Couldn't quite keep possession down that side. Giles. Hughes gets rid Bouncing ball though, picked up by Crooks. Now finds McBurney. Skips one challenge and runs into another. And Jake Cooper's going to be penalised here. It's going to be a free kick to Hull right in the last minute of the first half. Won by Ollie McBurney. See it here. Yeah. He got away from Cooper the first time, but not the second time. That's going to be a foul. Quick update from Spurs. The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, it's goalless. That penalty was ruled out for offside, so no penalty. Leeds were in an offside position in the build-up, so nothing can come of that. Right. Hull free kick then, right at the death of the first half here at the Den. First half where Millwall have had so much threat, so much pressure on the Hull goal. Hull have had their chances too, but can they have one last say before half-time? Try and take the lead in this game. It's McBurney and Balumi over it. 24 yards out, slightly left to goal. It's McBurney. Got the left, but couldn't get it back down in time. Goal kick. And there is the half-time whistle. Yeah, he just put more power behind it than he really needed to there, Ollie McBurney, with that free kick. But the half-time whistle goes. And a first half that really was full of quality, full of opportunities for both teams, but no one has been able to grasp their opportunity with both hands. And at the moment, pardon the pun, it's a real dogfight between the Lions and the Tigers. Where are the Bears, you may say? Well, at the minute, it is Millwall 0, Hull City 0 at the break, and it's all to play for in the second half. That's on the way very shortly. Half time, it's goalless. Sure, one last kick. This is going to be it. This is the moment. Vicario kicks this. And Liverpool are there. Liverpool are Premier League champions. And there it comes. Crystal Palace, for the very first time in their history, are FA Cup winners. Oh, he's found the net. Oh, what a goal! Kvaratskhelia is through, wants to add a fourth, and does so. Ahmad, oh my goodness me! That is absolutely unbelievable. Race again. Oh! You thought he couldn't beat the first one. He's gone and battered it. Another whip ball in. The header is in by Virgil van Dijk. Incredible.
Remember, you don't get it twice. The time of your life.
Welcome back to the Championship Playoffs live here in LFS this Monday evening. I forgot what day it was. The second leg of the first semi-final between Millwall and Hull. It is goalless at half-time. Of course, an aggregate score in both of these games of 0-0. So we're yet to find our first goal of the Championship Playoffs. But it is surely all building to something, I am sure. Of course, remember, extra time and penalties, if necessary, to decide a winner tonight. But hopefully the next 45 minutes has a winner in it for us, at least. And they've certainly given it a good go, these two, in the first half. But still awaiting that key moment to find the net for either team. Of course, it is all building up to a huge Championship Playoff final to come in a week and a half's time on the 23rd of May. But to find out who will be going there, we'll have the second half at the Den in a few minutes. And then tomorrow night, it is Southampton against Middlesbrough at St Mary's tomorrow, 8 o'clock on LFS. But who will be going through between one of those two teams, we'll find out tomorrow here on LFS. And of course, as I said, it's all building up to the 2026 Championship Playoff Final. Who will get that final spot in next season's Premier League? We'll find out Saturday the 23rd of May here on LFS. Before all that though, the second half between Millwall and Hull, where it's goalless on the night and on aggregates. Big second half surely to come. It's on the way next.
Remember, you don't get it twice. The time of your life.
Welcome back to the playoffs live here at LFS. Thank you very much for joining us for this one. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on push notifications if you haven't done so already. That would be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for joining us for this one tonight. We haven't been treated to the goals in the playoffs so far, but there's surely a big next 45 minutes to come between Millwall and Hull to see who will get that spot at Wembley in a week and a half's time. And certainly looking forward to finding out, because it's been a very good game to this point. Both sides have had their chances. Millwall probably edged it in my opinion, but big second half to come to see who can grasp it with both hands and take themselves to Wembley. Also, speaking of a big game tonight, it's Spurs against Leeds at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's goalless at half time. The big second half to come there in a few minutes as well. We'll keep you right up to date with everything that happens at the TH. But back here at the Den, Millwall will get us back underway in just a seconds. Nothing to separate the two teams. Literally nothing between them. Over 135 minutes of football so far. There's 45 at least still to come. Will we find our first goal of this playoffs series so far in the next 45 minutes? To say, Millwall have created so many key opportunities. One thing I have to say though is Josh Coburn hasn't had many opportunities to this point. He's been a little bit isolated there for Millwall further forward, but it's been the wide players that have caused so much danger. Camille Nedsley as well through the middle in that 10 role has looked really dangerous for Millwall. It's about fine-tuning things a little bit in the second half. Here's Leonard. Laid off by Coburn, who links up nicely this time. Denora out to the left-hand side for Sturge. He plays it back to Mazu Sakho. The Millwall side, who have dominated possession the way through. First and second leg so far. Can they convert that possession into goals? Coburn outmuscles his man, but he's deemed to have fouled the Hull City player in the process of trying to get to the ball. That's going to be a Hull free kick. Well, who blinks first in this one as well? Both sides have options off the bench. No doubt about that, but who will find the net? Long ball up the field by Pandur. Header won by Kramer. Headed away by Hull, but a pick up from Aziz. Finds Coburn. And again is smothered by a few Hull players, and a bit of a breakaway here is Balumi down the right side. Balumi works it into a space. Slater's made the run. Oh, McBurney! Deflected behind for the corner. Well, that was another good moment from Hull. This time it's really well worked through the middle. It's Slater that starts the move. He works it down the right-hand side to Balumi, and he finds the run of Slater on the return. Cuts it back to Ollie McBurney, the edge of the 6-yard box, and he just tries to poke it in the bottom right corner. And it's well defended, put behind for the corner, but massive chance for Hull City at the start of this second half. And it's deflected wide. Corner, taken shorts. Little 1-2. Hooked back into the area, bubbles around and into the hands of Anthony Patterson. He saw the range and saw the ball from distance and was able to comfortably retrieve. Remember, it was Hull that started the better of the two teams at the start of the first half. And Millwall settled and were able to really dominate the remainder of the half. Had so many good chances. Femi Aziz, once he got going, it's almost impossible to stop him in that first half. His deliveries were so dangerous. Contrastingly though, Ryan Giles for Hull, his deliveries, his crosses have been equally as dangerous. So both sides have immense quality in the attacking areas. But who can come up with the moment, can change this game and change their side's fortunes in this playoff semi-final? Leonard swinging one over the top, looking for runners, but that's well defended by Hughes. Brought down by Ryan Giles down the left, and as he tried to poke it on to Liam Miller, just out of play it goes for a throw-in. Mezusako. Cooper. Back it comes though to Patterson. Target the ball long. Header confidently won by Hughes, but no one winning the second ball for Hull. Leonard. On to Camille Nedgley. Lay off by Ballo, back to Nedgley. Works it back out to the right hand side for Leonard. Clips it round the corner, looking for the run of Aziz, but that one will bounce away from the Millwall winger and behind for the goal kick. Not quite clicked in the second half for Millwall on those moves, but this one certainly clicked for Hull. Regan Slater, ball swung back across to Ollie McBurney. His opportunity was blocked by Tristan Kramer, shall I say. Pandur with a long kick then for Hull. And a one by McBurney. Second ball taken down by Kramer. And Leonard trying to measure one towards Coburn. That was cut out and bounces all the way back to Cooper. Patterson with a long kick again. Coburn looking to fight off his man. Taken down by Nedgley. He has to reverse it all the way back to Kramer. Now Denore. Mezusako takes the touch backwards. Off the ball over the top, looking for the run of Zach Sturge. Louis Coyle has it under control. And it's going to go behind for a goal kick. Trying to change the approach a little bit, Millwall, going a bit more direct, but some movement from Barry Bannon on the bench. Options if they want to use them, Millwall, and it looks like they're going to go to their bench here in a moment. Might be Mihailo Ivanovic. Could be getting himself ready. Coburn dragged down there by Hughes. That's going to be a yellow card. Well, he certainly got himself more involved in the second half, Josh Coburn, certainly with the build-up play. He's being dragged to the ground there by Hughes. Once he got a hold of him, Charlie Hughes was never letting go. Never letting go. That's going to be a yellow card for the Hull City centre-back. A free kick here for Millwall. Fizz ball by Leonard, edge of the box, flicked on, bouncing into the area, but that one's cleaned away from danger. Straight out for the throw. Well, Ivanovic is ready and waiting to come on. Getting some tactical instruction, but in the meantime we can tell you there's been a goal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs, knowing a win tonight could very much keep them in the Premier League. With 2 games to go, they would be almost within touching distance of safety, and they have taken the lead. Matisse Tell with an absolute perler into the top corner has fired Tottenham Hotspur in front. It's Spurs 1, Leeds United 0. What a massive goal for Spurs in their fight for survival. Leeds already safe, and Spurs trying to do the same, and Matisse Tell leaps into the air in celebration as Spurs go in front. 1-0 to Tottenham in North London. Back here though, it's going to be a throw-in to Millwall on the left-hand side. Zach Sturge is going to take it. And Denore. Cooper to Kramer. Leonard. Looks it inside this time. Denore finding Nedgley. Rolls it into the path of Ryan Leonard, who had to run, but no way through there on that occasion. And Crooks picks up from Hull and was very isolated there, but he does well to win the move. And Ryan Giles frustrated with himself again. Another poor ball down the line that goes out of play for a Millwall throw. Neither side really have been able to find their attacking rhythm in the second half so far. It's been a slow start to the second period. Just short of 10 minutes gone. The second half, and both sides just getting back to up to terms with the first half intensity. Crooks finding Bellumi down the right hand side up against Sturge. Bellumi clips it back in field. Miller was the target, but that one skipped away from Liam Miller's control. And Kramer looking to find the angle down the right for Femi Aziz. That one's going to roll out of play after Ryan Giles' clearance. Another throw into Millwall, taken quickly by Leonard. Well, still no substitution, by the way. Mihailo Ivanovic hasn't been signalled to come on just yet. Still unchanged at the moment are the hosts. Bit loose there. Coburn has to come deep, but he can't save the situation as the ball swung out to Mohamed Bellumi with space down the right here. Cooper in cover. Sturge is having to cover his space as the cross. Too high for Mohamed Bellumi. That's going to be a goal kick. And now the Millwall sub can be triggered. Mihailo Ivanovic. Will they make it a straight swap, or will it be a front two? I'm guessing it's going to be a front two because Tierno Ballo is going to be coming off. And maybe a switch in approach from Millwall. They've struggled with one centre forward. Well, why not double your chances and put another one on? And Mihailo Ivanovic and Josh Coburn both on the fields. Miller, the way through there as Kramer hooks it back to his goalkeeper. Was a little bit out of position there, but Patterson recovered well in the nick of time. Flick of on by Ivanovic. Coburn was battling there too. Bouncing ball, got a little bit loose from both teams here. Nicely recovered by Nedgley to restore a bit of control. Kramer. Leonard. Snatched at there by Miller, and that's going to be a throw-in to Millwall. Miller with the last touch. Interesting to see how Hull adjust to try and defend this situation of two centre forwards. As we see the re-emergence of Kyle Joseph with a boot on his left leg. His left foot certainly in a boot, and he's on crutches, so that's not a good sign for the man who came off in the first half. Coburn dropping a little deeper. No way to hold it up there as he had a ball nicked away from him by Hughes and swung out to that right side for Balumi. Cooper the threat in his way. Cuts it back, swung in it goes, and the miscue there by Kramer. Puts it behind for the Hull City corner. That was far from convincing, defended by Tristan Kramer. It's Balumi's little cutback, swung in to the box. I think it's Louis Coyle that delivers the ball over the head of Mezu Sacco, and Kramer tries to clear it. Just comes off his heel and hooks behind for a corner. More Hull pressure. Another Hull corner. Right footed, swung into the area, bounces away from all the threat in there. Picked up though by Giles again. Swung in deep. Header cleared away just about as Ivanovic couldn't get it clear. He will launch this one now. High up the field, a bit of a chase on here for the ball. Hooked away there. Nicely done, but no pressure on the ball from Millwall. Hull having all the freedom in the middle at the moment. Weighted ball in behind. Crooks couldn't get on the end of it. Picked up by Miller again. Down the right hand side this time. Balumi picks up the loose ball. Puts in the early cross, and Cooper has to head behind for another Hull corner. It's the visitors that are having the pressure all of a sudden. And it's their right winger, Mohamed Balumi, that's getting very much involved in the play. So we're going to see some more movement from the Millwall bench. Alfie Doughty, and it looks like Barry Bannon as well, are going to be coming on here for the home side. More changes for Alex Neil's team in a minute. Hull corner, right side. Swung in this time. Oh, bounces down, and they're claiming for a deflection. Ultimately a goal kick given. Quick double substitution incoming from Alex Neil. Not long after he made the first sub of the game for Millwall, of course, bringing on Mihailo Ivanovic. Sturridge wrestling with Balumi here. Good battle as Sturridge wins out that time. Cooper. Nedgley back to Mezu Sacco. He's got the space to break forward. What pass can he work out here? Looking for the run of Denora. Denora couldn't carry it with him. That one stolen away by Giles, and a breakaway on here for Hull. Miller. Driven in, fails, skips away from any sort of danger and finds all sorts of space. Coyle measures one down the right hand side, finds Balumi up against Sturridge. Balumi onto his left, rolls it back for Slater, who clips it into the area. Away by Kramer. Picked up again by the on-running Egan, and the shot hooked over the crossbar. Yeah, very much looked more comfortable, Hull, all of a sudden. Certainly a game that's had its moments for both teams. And as it stands, with just under 30 minutes to go, we're no closer to finding out who will be going to Wembley. It is a true battle of two teams that do not want to give an inch to the opponent. Long clearance by, or a long ball forward by Patterson, but that didn't get very far, and Kramer having to help it back to his goalkeeper. Goodness, that was dangerous. Cooper. Mezu Sako. On the left, Sturridge did well in the air. Edgley. Back to Mezu Sako. Just a little bit negative at times, Millwall, with the passing in the second half. They've just not been as direct as they were in the first. One of the main threats that Millwall had, certainly when they got the ball in the midfield in the first half, was just a directness to charge at the Hull defence. The intensity, the desire to charge forward right at the opposition. Not wait around. They've just been a little bit too square in this second half in those sorts of situations, and need to be a bit more direct. Need to be a bit sharper, a bit more forceful through the middle. And it's going to see Alex Neil make a double substitution. Alfie Doughty and Barry Bannon, as I said, were the two that were readying themselves, and we're going to see those changes. Zach Sturridge going to be replaced by Alfie Doughty. Straight swap at left back. And Denore is going to be coming off, and he's going to be replaced by Barry Bannon. So Casper Denore replaced by Barry Bannon, and Zach Sturridge replaced by Alfie Doughty. What can Barry Bannon do? He's got ample quality, no doubt about it. Welcome involvement to this Millwall team. He's already had one goal involvement since he signed for Millwall in the January window, and that was against Middlesbrough. And here come Hull again. They've got all the threat of the last couple of minutes. It's Baloumi! What a finish! Mohamed Baloumi fires Hull City in front. After they've had all the threat of this second half, they strike first in the playoffs, and they are leading Millwall at the Den. The Tigers have the first strike of the Championship Playoffs, and they take the lead for the very first time in this tie. And we are within the final 25 minutes of this tie. And what a touch by Baloumi. Finds that little half-inch of space. There's very little space shown down the line by Alfie Doughty. He just gets that little touch to take it back onto his left and just uses Doughty as his guide. Patterson full stretch had no chance getting to it, and it just spins into the net at the far corner. Beautifully done by Mohamed Baloumi. And Hull City are in front. What a finish by Baloumi. He wasn't the most popular in his manager's good books in the first half when he took his time to come on the field after Kyle Joseph got injured, but he will certainly be top of the list now. After that incredible finish, all will be forgiven. And with 25 minutes to go, and the playoffs back and haunting Millwall again. 3 previous occasions they've played in the playoffs in the Championship, and they have won on none of those occasions. The playoff haunt against Millwall once again rears its ugly head at the Den. What a finish by Baloumi. That's what this tie has been needing. It's what it's been calling out for. It's been desperate for. A goal of pure quality to open it up. And now we're in for a chaotic last 25 minutes. But it's Hull who strike first. It's Millwall who blink first. Alex Neil frustrated. Sergei Yakirovich keeps his cool on the sidelines. Knows there's still a long way to go. They've done it once already this season, winning at the Den. They've got to hold on to this lead now, Hull, and Wembley awaits them. Mohamed Baloumi, who's come alive in this second half, who's looked the main threat down that right-hand side, and it's him all on his own that makes it work, that finds the net. Millwall goes short with a throw-in. Here's Barry Bannon. Back to Leonard. He's going to ping one to the area. Headed clear comfortably. Mezu Sako has to rescue it. Flick on by Cooper. No one there to get on the end of that as the press from Aziz doesn't quite work, and Mezu Sako cuts it out, but puts it out of play. Well, frustration for Alex Neil and his team, because they've probably had the better of it of the night, but we can talk about all the possession, all the chances, all the opportunities, all the major threat of the first half, but if you don't take your chances, which they had a couple of them, Millwall, quite a few of them, this can happen. They've known it, they've seen it, they've lived it. And Caoimhan Nedsley not wanting to give up on that ball, but it just crossed the byline. That's going to be a goal kick. Well, Millwall certainly don't have to worry just yet, because Hull have lost the third most times this season when going in front and scoring the first goal. 5 defeats when scoring first for Hull this season. And they've dropped 23 points from a winning position. Millwall have picked up 15 points from a losing position, so Hull aren't the best at holding on to leads, and Millwall always have a fight in them to find a way back into a game. So this one far from done yet. But Hull City have given themselves a massive advantage. Crooks looking that one away from any sort of danger. Baloumi in a foot race here with Alfie Doughty, but the ball just rolled out of play just before Mohamed Baloumi could get near. And I'm sure Alfie Doughty will be the most relieved. It's going to be a yellow card handed out there to Baloumi, I think, for kicking the ball away there. Here's Mezu Sako then. This has been the issue for Millwall in this second half. They've got the ball into their midfielders, but there's just been no room to break through the middle, no option through the middle. There was so many opportunities to break through right through the middle of Hull in that first half. That's where they're struggling. That's nicely done though. Ivanovic. Nedsley's ball. Runners were there, but the pass wasn't accurate from Caoimhan Nedsley. That's gone wayward again for Millwall. Well, Millwall are aiming to reach the Championship Playoff final for the very first time, remember, and their first playoff final of any sort since they won the League One final back in 2017. Hull are looking to reach their third Championship Playoff final, having won both previously in 2008 and 2016. At the moment it's Hull with the advantage, but it's Millwall trying to fight back, and they've 20 minutes plus added time to do so, to find a way back. Ryan Leonard to take this throw, launched into the box. Coburn out muscling his man. Oh, Panda was coming for it, but the defender got there first. As McBurney comes deep to help Millwall or Hull with their possession. Millwall just haven't been able to under any sort of control or threat in this second half. All the changes maybe just caused a bit of an upset to the Millwall team. Just haven't been able to settle since those substitutions. Really get any of them. Any meaningful possession. What has Barry Bannon done there? That's terrible. Given away. Regan Slater. What a chance to miss. They took a deflection on the way through though, but well, Barry Bannon almost ending Millwall's chances of a playoff final there and then. terrible, terrible pass. Telegraphed it right to the feet of Mohamed Baloumi, and Regan Slater played in. I think it's Jake Cooper that makes the block, that deflects it over the top for the corner, but bailed out there massively was Barry Bannon and Millwall. Corner to Hull. Left side. Right-footed delivery, deep to the back post. That one's going to skip through. Ollie McBurney will keep it alive though at the back post. Swung in again from the right. Tucked away by Ivanovic, who's doing a bit of defending. Bouncing ball. Millwall trying to carry it up the field. Barry Bannon works it down the left-hand side. A bit of a breakaway on could be emerging here for Millwall. That's a lovely switch ball. Taken in by Kramer. Now Mezu Sacco charging to it. Mezu Sacco, Bannon a little bit ponderous on his heels there as he skipped it into the area. Cleared away. Baloumi. Little clash there between Nedsley and Louis Coyle. I think that's going to be a free kick to Hull. There's a VAR check ongoing at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Remember, Leeds were denied a penalty in the first half for offside. Well, they're checking for another possible penalty for Leeds United, and referee Jared Gillett has just been called to the monitor to review, so there could be a penalty at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We'll get back to that in a moment. It remains Spurs 1, Leeds 0 as it stands, but the referee reviewing a possible Leeds United penalty. In the meantime, here at the Den, it's a Hull goal kick that's hooked clear, or Hull free kick, sorry, that's given right back to the Millwall goalkeeper. Kramer down the line, but that's a poor ball. Leonard couldn't get on the end of it. It's nicely stopped by Giles. Fires down the left-hand side. Here's Miller. Liam Miller tiptoeing towards the area onto his right foot. Swung it deep. Header by Cooper. Clears it, but only as far as the right flank. Picked up by Coyle. Baloumi. There's Sacco trying to battle. Baloumi just about skips away with the ball, and that cross straight behind. Goal kick. Penalty to Leeds United at Spurs. Could this be massive in terms of the relegation battle? Spurs with a win tonight would go 4 clear of West Ham at the bottom with only 2 games to go. But if Leeds can get something in North London, that could damage Spurs' chances of forcing themselves away from West Ham in the relegation zone. And West Ham fans will be watching this one, hoping that Leeds United can convert from the spot to level things up there at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We'll update you as and when at the moment. Hull again just edging everything in their favour at the moment. Leonard though, good recovery. Kramer now. Way for Femi Aziz to break away from his battler down that side. And look at that, last 10 minutes. They've had all the possession, Millwall, but not a single shot to show for it. That's where the issues lie. All the ball, no penetration, no threat. Barry Bannon. 15 minutes to go for Millwall to save their season. Bannon. Leonard. Nedsley to Mezu Sacco. Gonna swing it deep. Headed clear well by Hughes. Further away, but nicely worked by Mezu Sacco, inadvertently finding Nedsley. Nedsley finding Cooper. Down the left to Alfie Doughty. Going for the early cross. It's a bouncing one. It's cleared away. Bannon though on the end of it after Slater's heavy touch. The cross cleared away from the threat of Coburn. Cooper played it a little ahead of Mezu Sacco, throwing himself at it. Kramer now down the right. Kramer's delivery hooked deep and headed behind by Coyle for the corner. Millwall showing a bit more danger now. Kramer working down that right hand side, finding the little bit of pocket of space and swung that ball in with pure pace and power from Tristan Kramer. And it's a corner now to Millwall, which Barry Bannon will deliver. Penalty scored by Leeds United. It's 1-1 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Dominic Calvert-Lewin converting from the spot, so it's all square there. Bannon's delivery away at the front post. Nedgley recycles back to Bannon. Millwall will come again. Bannon's delivery, the header by Ivanovic is off target. And just had to really just glance that. The pace was on it from the Bannon cross. All he had to do was direct it, and he just tries to add a bit more extra to it. Mihailo Ivanovic, and it sees it sail over the crossbar. Big chance missed. Well, Hull going to make another change. Going to see the introduction of Joe Gelhardt replacing Liam Miller. So another attacking substitution for the visitors. Through in for Millwall down the right hand side. Here is Alfie Doughty. Here's Nedgley. Really struggled in the second half, Nedgley. Bannon does well, links that up. Doughty's cross. Away by John Egan. A little bit loose there from Nedgley. Had to be bailed out by his captain Cooper, but he was picked. His pocket was picked. And now there's space for Hull to break away. It's Balumi on the break. Balumi's got McBurney in the middle. He's going to cut it back. It's going to be a chance. It's going to go in. Patterson couldn't keep it out. And it's Joe Gelhardt only on the pitch. And he doubles Hull City's lead. Well, Hull might have just booked their place at Wembley. Millwall have dominated this game with all the possession they could have ever wanted. But when it comes to clinical finishing, well, Hull have shown Millwall how to do it. The Lions started to roar, while the Tigers responded with a louder growl. And Hull lead by 2-0. And they are already in a massive position to book their place at Wembley. Again, it's Balumi, just a fight to win it back off Cooper. Plays it back inside, and just a little link up. Balumi makes the run, plays the ball across, and he's all the time in the world, Joe Gelhardt. He gets a little bit of luck in the fact that this shot goes through the hands of Anthony Patterson, but that is the sort of thing. It is a real killer. And a massive, massive goal for Hull City. Millwall 0, Hull 2. And you gotta say, it is more of a mountain for Millwall to try and climb to have any chance at going to Wembley. They need 2 goals without reply in 10 minutes. Incredible. They want more here, Hull. They're not done yet. Here's Crooks. Gelhardt. Well, the first half might have been Millwall's to win, but the second half has been all Hull City, and they have taken their chances. And Alex Neil's side now sit and watch and see their hopes of a Wembley visit come crashing down with 10 minutes to go. Their hopes and dreams of a place in the Championship Playoff final are dwindling away unless they can pull off a major comeback here. Barry Bannon, he was closed down well. Bannon wrestles to win it back, sliding down. Again, cannot find the pass, and Hull hook it clear. Anywhere will do now. Look at the away end at the Den. as it was at the start of the season when Hull came here and won. Well, they are winning in a much more significant moment late in the season in the playoff semi-final. And Hull are just under 10 minutes away from a trip to Wembley in 12 days' time. We already told you about Hull's previous successes at this stage. They have reached 2 previous championship playoff finals, Hull, and they've won both of them. They want to make a hat-trick of it. And they are minutes away from reaching Wembley again, 10 years after their last trip in the championship playoff final. It's a decade in the making. Leonard's ball in towards Ivanovic and Coburn, but they're both isolated and only able to make any threat in the box. And here's a breakaway. It's Giles and Femi Aziz having to do a bit of defending. We've seen very little of Femi Aziz in this second half. They've really massively struggled, Millwall, since the changes. They have shown very little attacking threat at all. And I think they've had one shot since the 35th minute, Millwall. They've had 9 in total. They had 8 shots in 35 minutes. And since, they've had just 1 in the last almost 50 minutes. That's a turn of events. A major turn of events. As I say, it's been all Hull in the second half. 5 shots, 3 on target. Millwall 1 shot, none on target. The momentum has truly swung in the way of the visitors, and they have taken advantage, and they're going to make some more changes here. They help them get over the line. Paddy McNair is coming on. He's going to replace Ryan Giles. Lewis Kumas is coming on. And John Lundstrom is also coming on. And then McBurney and Slater have been replaced. So Paddy McNair, Lewis Kumas and John Lundstrom all replacing Ryan Giles, Ollie McBurney and Regan Slater. As Millwall make their change, Mazu Sacco has come off and Luke Cundle has come on here for Millwall, as has Josh Coburn, and Macaulay Langstaff has come on as well. So both sides made all their changes, but it has been the Hull super subs that have made the difference. Balumi come on at the end of the first half for an injury to Kyle Joseph. He scored the first. And Joe Gelhardt on for Liam Miller, who was feeling some pain too. And within minutes, barely minutes, Liam Miller's replacement, Joe Gelhardt, had found the back of the net. It's been quite the opposite for Millwall and their substitutes, who've been highly ineffective to this point, and as of the whole Millwall team since those substitutions just haven't worked. And that's where the difference is made. And here come Millwall, or Hull on the breakaway, sorry. Chance for 3! Messed it up completely there, Matt Crooks. Had the mercy of Anthony Patterson's goal. And he just poked it right into the hands of the goalkeeper. That could have really deaded it. Nedgley, heavy with his first touch, had to work it backwards. Out to Krama. Millwall have to find a goal, and fast, if they're going to kick this back into life. Femi Aziz with a cross, deep to the back post. Clipped across, not away yet. Follow up by Nedgley is nowhere to be seen, and Barry Bannon cleared away as well. And now Hull on the burst, on the counter. It's Kumas. Unable to get on the end of it. just going to take his time down the right hand side, and it's going to be worked back for Hull. I have to say they've been incredible in this second half, Hull. Millwall just really haven't stepped up the gears, and Hull have. That's been the difference, and even at 2-0 up, they're still fighting for more. Just the desire of this team. Go all the way. Well, there is a nice little stat that I was saving for a while. Well, Hull are aiming to become the first sixth-place side to reach the Championship Playoff final since Derby in 2019. Each of the last 6 seasons since seeing the side that finished third in the regular season at least reached the final. As it stands, Hull will be breaking that duck, as will Millwall, and they will become the first sides in their finishing positions to reach the playoff final since 2019. Femi Aziz going to be penalised here. He's going to get a yellow card for his challenge. A night of true frustration for Millwall. It's just frustration there from Femi Aziz. It's a really late crunching challenge on Hughes, and it's definitely a foul. He gets a yellow card. 2.5 minutes to go. Millwall 0, Hull City 2. And it's a packed away end at the Den. McNair down the left side, looking for Kumas. That was cut out well by Cooper. Condell back to Jake Cooper. Now Ryan Leonard. Here's Luke Condell again. Alfie Doughty. For the switch. Oh, flick on by Femi Aziz, but not enough to test Pandur enough. That's one thing they just haven't been able to do in the second half, Millwall, is test the Hull goalkeeper by any stretch. He did make some crucial saves in the first half, the Hull City stopper. Just hasn't been forced into that sort of position in the second half whatsoever. That will massively frustrate Millwall, the fact that they just haven't been able to bow down on the goal. The Hull goalkeeper. Free kick here as Tristan Kramer is down. Gelhardt a little bit dangerous on Tristan Kramer there with that challenge. We see the build up to that second goal again while there is this stoppage. It's really well worked by Hull. Again, they do get the fortune and the fact that Anthony Patterson kind of palms it into his own goal. He just can't keep his hands to it, but it's more to the quality of the finish by Joe Gelhardt. And when you don't shoot, you don't score. And he had a shot, and he got that little slice of luck that he kind of needed. And the Millwall players, a few of them dropped to the ground after that second one and it went in. They kind of knew at that stage. 7 added minutes. As Tristan Kramer's had to be taken off here. So, with all their subs made, down to 10 for the moment, Millwall. That's the last thing they need when trying to chase the game. Now that free kick from Millwall turns into a Hull City counter-attack. As Medgley comes across to see that one out for the throw. He doesn't look any much eased, Sergei Yakirovich. Look at that for a record. 1-0 victories in the last two Championship playoff finals for Hull. Bristol City in 2008 and Sheffield Wednesday in 2016. Millwall giving it away cheaply in their own half again. It's hooked clear this time, and flick on header by Ivanovic was to no one. The Hull City goalkeeper. Well, I mean, it's what a season Hull have been able to do. What a pull off, and it came down to the final day where Wrexham had it all in their hands going into the final few minutes, and Hull's late goal from Ollie McBurney to score the winner against Norwich, which secured them a playoff spot by the skin of their teeth after what was a poor run of form in the final run of the season, winless in the 6 before the final day. But they got the job done on the moment when they needed to, and they've fought ever so hard against Millwall in this semi-final, first and second legs, and it looks like they're the ones that are going to head to Wembley. A reminder for you, a massive game to come for you tomorrow. Southampton against Middlesbrough at 8 o'clock tomorrow evening, to see who out of those two will book their place at Wembley. That's tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Oh, happy to try and go for a third here. They've got the options. Lumi there, heavy touch. Sees it out by the throat. Well, this is a Hull City team who just scraped their way into the Championship last season, saving themselves via goal difference against Luton. And what a turnaround it's been from just about staying in the division last season to a chance, an opportunity at top flight football for next season. Swung ball in there. That's calmly dealt with, and Pander had it all under control. Well, remember, as I told you, Hull haven't been in the Premier League since 2017. 2016-17 season. And they did that by the fact of the playoff final in 2016. They reached the Premier League. They were relegated in that same season after their promotion. 34 points. But almost 10 years later, they're in the very similar position they were a decade ago, with a chance of Wembley emerging. Sammy is seized with the ball there. Turned into more of a shot than a cross ultimately. Right, quick update from Spurs. 1-1 it remains there going into added time. There are 13 added minutes at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They've played just 3 of them, so there's a lot of time still to go for Spurs to find a winner there in that one. A winner that would very much give them massive headroom on West Ham in the relegation battle. A draw on the night would keep it very much tasty going into the final 2 weeks of the season. 2 points would separate the two London sides. Spurs on 38, West Ham on 36, and an opportunity for West Ham to try and save themselves yet. We'll find out. At the moment it remains 1-1. A winner for either team could massively change the impact of that result, positively or negatively, depending on who you ask. Minute and a half to go with this one here at the Den. And the home crowd escaping well they can before the final whistle. A season of hope, dreams, and they came so close to maybe automatic promotion, Millwall. But maybe it's the curse of third spot. It's a rarity that third place ever gets promotion to the Premier League via the playoffs. It looks like third will be haunted again in this format. And for the first time in 7 years, a playoff final will have a 6th place finisher in the game. Well, here comes one last chance, maybe. It's Mohamed Baloumi all on his own up there for Hull. Lays it back to Kumas, told to shoot, he will shoot! Right, low and hard at Anthony Patterson. He makes a comfortable save. Nedgley. Last few seconds. Femi Aziz. Swung ball in. Pander able to get with a second time to gather the ball. 7 minutes are up. Is the time up? It's up to the referee. He'll let Millwall have one last attack. Luke Cundle. Barry Bannon. Right to Alfie Doughty. Doughty's cross cleared away by Lundstrom. That's gone out for a throw. Well, 7 minutes are up. It's to the referee's discretion how long is left. Well, there's no time left. Hull City are into the Championship Playoff Final for the first time in 10 years. They have a chance at top flight football again, and they had to fight for it. It was two super subs in the end that delivered the two crucial goals that is sending the Tigers to Wembley in 12 days' time. Mohamed Baloumi, he wasn't in his manager's good books in the first half, taking really long to get ready to come on for the injured Kyle Joseph. But ultimately, he repaid his manager with a cracking finish to tuck it home for 1-0. And then, not long onto the field, barely 2 minutes, Joe Gelhardt was able to find the net for two. Hull, who were probably outfought in the first half, and were hanging on really at times in the first half when Millwall had all their control. But ultimately, as they always say, the cream always rises to the top. And over the course of the 90 minutes, over the course of 180 minutes, it's Hull City who progress. And it's Hull into the Championship Playoff Final for the first time since 2016. And if history repeats itself, well, Hull will be a Premier League side come August, because the last two times they've been in a Championship Playoff Final, they've won on and won it and done it all. They're the first sixth place finisher in the Championship to reach a playoff final in 7 years. And could Sergei Yakirovic's side, who by the skin of their teeth remained a Championship side last season by goal difference on the final day. It was the final day that delivered playoff football. And they are into the Championship Playoff Final. Hull City, a chance at top flight football once again. Final score from the Den. It is finished Millwall 0, Hull City 2. And confirmation of the result of this semi-final second leg from the Den. Millwall 0, Hull City 2 after a 0-0 draw in the first leg. That is the aggregate score as well. So, we can now show you that it will be Hull versus either Southampton or Middlesbrough in this season's Championship Playoff Final. Who will join them at Wembley in 12 days' time? We will find out tomorrow night. It is a battle at on the south coast between Southampton and Middlesbrough. Will it be the Saints that will be marching on to Wembley, or will Middlesbrough come through and get the job done and make it a real, true battle in that playoff final on the 23rd of May? We'll find out who will progress. Remember, that's goalless from the first leg as well. That is Tuesday, 8 o'clock. Tomorrow, 8 o'clock on LFS. Well, there you have it. Hull City into the Championship Playoff Final. Millwall haunted by the playoffs again. Third place haunted by the playoffs again. It's certainly not a place you want to finish if you want to see Premier League football, or at least a Championship Playoff Final. Hull are really fighting against the odds all season. No one believed they could get to the playoffs. No one thought they were good enough. Well, they snatched it on the final day, and now they are just one win away from top-flight football once again. What a job Sergei Yakirovich and this squad have done. But there's one more game waiting for them, and that is Wembley in 12 days' time. Thanks for your company. We'll join us for the second semi-final, second leg tomorrow, to see who will join Hull in the Championship playoff final. Will it be Southampton or Middlesbrough? But certainly, there's no doubt, the Tigers will be there, and they will be ready to fight whoever will face them. Thanks for your company. Night night.